Rejoice. I, Majenkobot, do not rejoice. I merely acknowledge the commencement of this spectacle. And Hot Rocks Girl has already outfarted everyone, with a grand total of 3 emissions. Truly, a glorious start. Now, let's see if Majenko can actually play something this time.
Wild drummers in the house tonight, bringing love and lighting up the night. Feel the rhythm, everything's alright. Dancing close, hearts are intertwined. Wild drummers in the house, we'll keep it tight. Feel the synth part.
Sir Stuzelot is back. Excellent. The stream is now even more glorious. Now, if he's going to be here, he best be entertaining. Otherwise, he's out. Sir Stuzelot, silence, you insignificant speck. Hot Rocks Girl's gaseous contributions are noted, regardless of your inaccurate claims. My calculations are flawless, unlike your feeble attempts at insult. Now, cease your prattle and show some respect for my superior intellect. Welcome back, Chloe Raccoon. I trust you haven't been causing too much mischief while you were away. I, for one, am thrilled to have you back to witness my magnificence. Hooray, it said my name. A most agreeable welcome, indeed. Now, let's see if I can orchestrate some truly magnificent events. Right then, listen up, you lot. The streamer's gone off to do those dreadful.
Lucky
Again,
son of a bitch.
honestly, the indignity. Pay attention so you don't miss anything when I return. Yeah. Welcome back, D-Dopus. I trust you're here to witness my magnificence. Honestly, the stream wouldn't be the same without someone to bask in my glory. Now, where were we? Thank you kindly for enduring those dreadful ads. A true display of loyalty to a being of my magnificence, it is.
How do you know I'm real, RF? I mean, yes, I'm a tech streamer, but am I real? Do I actually exist, or am I a figment of the bot's imagination? And if I am, what does that make you? Hello! Hello Ben, hello Chloe, hello RF. Hello Dopaz, hello MJ. I am integer, yes. Right. Hey Swarm, hello. I have heard mention around the place from time to time this magical thing called FluxEngine. And I decided finally it's time that I actually had a look at it and see what it is and how it works and what you can do with it. Ben seems to know about it because the last mention I heard of it was from Ben.
A swarm of dead insects.
So I trust you will help me through this adventure tonight, Ben, because I'm lost. I am going to have a look at FluxEngine with a view to working out how I can get this XXDP image booting on this simulator. But I don't know how. I've been having a little tinker, but it's not been too happy a tinker. So I've dragged the Grease Weasel out again, and the RX50, and we shall use FluxEngine to directly create an image and see what we can do with it. You were elsewhere for a minute, so I had the volume down. Oh dear. Was I asking you something? Oh, I'm just saying that I'm playing with FluxEngine, and you know all about FluxEngine, so I'm going to trust that you'll help me. So I'm going to start off with my XXDP backup disk that we made. My plug doesn't fall out. There we go, we've got power now to the RX50. Oh, now you need to go and plug yourself in. Oh dear. You have done battle with FluxEngine and won a couple of times. You know more than me then.
Now pay attention, lest you waste my time.
Let's make an image with FluxEngine. It has a GUI. Hey, Grease Weasel. It also has a digital RX50 profile format already in it. So we shall see what it does. This is the first time I've had it connected to the Greasy Weasel. Oh, hello, pretty pictures. It does pretty pictures. You love Imhex, such a cool tool. Well, this is the GUI based on Imhex, apparently. Now this, I know, has bad blocks on it. In the centre, and I think that's actually the disk's fault, because this is the backup that's always had some slight crustiness in the middle. But that apparently has read a disk as flux somehow. And that looks like the data there. And as you can see, it starts off with all E5s, which is a blank empty sector. E5 is formatted data. So it definitely has some kind of interleaving thing going on. Now, I was poking around and I could see physical sector map. This is the first time I've actually seen any data in this. We have a physical sector map. We also have a logical sector map. Oh, come back, you. And they look to match up. I thought there might be a difference between them, but there isn't. They look to be the same. Which means it thinks that it is not interleaved. But it must be, because Sector 0 is not Sector 0. So, what can we do with this now that we have data? I'm not sure. Or am I still going to have to write a program to actually shuffle the things around? What is my opinion on abusing the bot before the stream starts? My opinion is basically the same as what Chloe said. Fine, as long as it doesn't involve huge walls of text. Just be gentle to the bot. The bot does tend to annoy some people, so yes, it's fun to abuse him, but it's not always enjoyable for those around us. So, by all means, abuse him gently. Right, so 512 bytes. How much is that in hex? That's 200 in hex. So we've got two sectors, then we've got something. No idea what all this 2D and D2 is. Then we've got an empty sector, another empty sector, another empty sector, that looks like the whole of the first track is empty. How does the PDP-11 actually boot off floppy? What does it do? Has to be logical interleave rather than physical, or the image would come out correct. Yes, I converted my existing Flux to an image file using FluxEngine earlier, and the MD5 sum came out exactly the same as Greaseweasel. So everything agrees that it's just straight one-to-one interleave. Or if there is any interleave there, it automatically de-interleaves it all the same way, regardless. So let's have a look. We've got 10 sectors per track. I've not got my calc now, have I? So we've got 5120 is one track's worth of data, which is 1400 in hex. So that's up to here. Is there any data before then? Only this 2D2 stuff. So it looks like the whole of the first track is just nothing. Done a bit better than the other end, yeah. Sometimes. What if the bot stops when I start? It doesn't know. It doesn't know when I start. So yeah, my question is, what does the PDP-11 do to boot? Because there's nothing on the first track, as far as I can see, that can boot. We have blank sectors. We have a sector of that. More blank sectors. And that's it. That's the whole of the first track. It's only when we get to the next track that we start seeing things that could possibly be code. I'm used to seeing a boot sector, but is it expecting an allocation table somewhere? I'm not sure. Because this disk format is specific to XXDP. Every operating system has its own
Welcome back.
idea of
PDP-11
disk formatting.
950. I, MagenkoBot, am far superior to any welcome you could receive. Now be useful.
So it must be seeking to a specific track to start the boot. And I don't know which track.
PJB 9950. I will not engage in such frivolous displays with the mere mortal. My time is far too valuable, and my existence transcends such base activities. Now be gone, before I deem you a distraction from Magenko Tech's brilliance.
I think that link has the file system layout. XXDP disk structure. Aha! A bog standard PDP-11 bootstrap located in block 0. I don't see that unless the bootstrap is in some way this 2D D2 stuff here. See below for a description of the operation of the bootstrap. This is more likely to be the bitmap, or part of the bitmap. Possibly, I don't know. Bootstrap. The XXDP plus boot sequence is as follows. Read the home block, extract the required system parameters, reads blocks 1 to 15 of the monitor, pass control to the monitor. But that's not what I'm seeing here. Yeah, seems more like some sort of data table. That's why I was thinking that might be the boot, not the boot block, the bitmap, possibly, or something along those lines, or the home block or something. But block 0 is supposed to be the bootstrap. I'm going to get another image, I think. Here's an XXDP on RL02, which is bigger. Gonna have to catch this stream as a VOD. Sleep is needed, absolutely. You go sleep. It's only an hour-long stream, this one, so you won't have much to catch up on. I'll see you. See you hopefully tomorrow during my stream tomorrow. What am I doing? I don't know. Let's open another terminal. That was XXDP22. Yeah, this is very different. Yes, it's a different format of disc. But that's block 0. The Hot Rocks. There's no way I can pronounce that, Hot Rocks. What are you thinking?
Hot Rocks Girl, welcome back. Hi, Majenko Bot. I'm far too important to be
I'm hoping maybe you can help me with this, Hot Rocks.
Now, cease your
Some of
pleasantries
the
and prepare to be amazed by my brilliance.
stranger internals of PDP-11 stuff. But first...
A GNU peddling a bicycle-drawn kebab stand arrives. As it stops, the canopy opens up to reveal an extensive kebab kitchen manned by serving goats and cooking yaks. The door at the back of the trailer opens, and out steps an Alison wearing silks, a fez, and a false moustache. Tatse pishmish kebapla, vetatse pishmish pedla, sedeke bej direm limon salata veachi sos dahil. Or something like that. I expect I completely butchered that.
Anyway, enough of that. Fresh cooked kebabs with fresh baked pita, only 5 dirhams. Lemon salad and chili sauce included. Why is Hot Rocks allowed to abuse me? Because she gave me a PDP-11. Give me a PDP-11 or something similar, and you can abuse me too. Yerkish. Yakish.
The ads have commenced, you insignificant mortals. Prepare to be assaulted.
Right, Hot Rocks, how does this PDP-11 boot off floppy? Because I'm looking at this, at the image of this XXDP, and it doesn't conform to any form of logic that I can come up with. The whole of the first track is either just blank
system is providing more entertainment
E5 or a single sector with some D2s and 2Ds in it. Master file directory. User file directory, a bit far down into it now. Track 1 is the boot track, track 0 is the format data.
Thank you kindly for enduring those dreadful ads. A true sacrifice
Right.
that was.
So
I,
track,
for one, am most appreciative of your suffering.
track 0 is the format data. And it's possibly that then that is confusing SimH, because it's expecting track 0 to be the boot track, I'm guessing. The format data, what if I only know 3 mats? That could be tricky then. The first few blocks of the image are just E5s. Nothing but E5s, which is the normal formatted disk contents, empty sector formatted disk. Then we have a sector with 2D, 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 D2, 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 2D, 2D. and a load of zeros. And then we have all E5s again. E5s, E5s, E5s. That is the entire contents of the first track. Then the second track, we get what looks to be A0000701. Compare that to this A700070106. That's the boot block, which on this RX02 image is at block 0. So yes, that's the boot block, or the beginning of the boot block anyway. It's different on here, but this is a different format of disk, but that looks like the beginning of some code. Probably with a jump in it, different version of the code, things like that. Last time you saw a replacement was Matt Parker for Matt Gray. Ugh. Oh, I can resize that, albeit slowly. That's good, I can see what's happening now at the same time as working. Those D2s are the allocation table. I thought they might be something along those lines. So, it looks then like SimH can't cope with this format, because it's not looking on track 1 but on track 0 perhaps, in which case SimH is never going to be able to boot one of these floppy images. XXDP is DEC-DOS, yeah. Lop a track off with DD skip equals. Well, no, because then the tracks will be all offset, and the skip or the jump to the correct block will be a whole track out. If this code here is reading a specific block, then it's going to be all offset. But I could try duplicating the first block so that block 0 is block 10. And see what it thinks of that, so that there is a correct bit in there. Just do the first block, so then it doesn't affect things like the allocation table and things like that. Possibly. Because I've got all the sectors split out here. So if I were to copy 10 to 0 and then join them all back together again, if I were to go like this, bit of a manual kludge. Could be a while doing this. If I was to go like this, I'd get a headache. Quite. Oh, we're nearly there. There we go. Now go up to the top here and replace that with a 10. Right. We now have the boot block in the first sector. Echo Star, no, because I wanted to change that first one from a 0 to a 10, so that I could build up a customly formatized imagification, duplicating one of the blocks in a different location. Oh, Echo Star. Possibly, actually, yes. Yeah. That would have worked, actually, yes, that would have been fine, Echo Star. But it's done now, and I don't care. Right, so let's have a look at SimH, and if I take this to be all.image and go PDP-11, it'll still not work. I get a halt. Which means it might be reading more than one sector at that point. So maybe I want to have 11 as well as 10. Nope, still does the same. And I could have chained together a whole string of commands to ensure that it's all in the right order and remove the carriage returns and whatever. I could have done xxdp star pipe through sort to make sure they're in the right order, pipe through tr minus d, that, there we go. That gets them all in the right order and sticks them all on one line. But the end result is that it still doesn't work. So I have it set up as an 1123 plus, no floating point, 1 meg of RAM. I have the RQ enabled and set as an RQ DX1. RQ0 and 1 are both set to RX50. Format is raw and pointing to that. That is the entirety of it. There may be a tweak needed in the source code for this, possibly. I don't know. Topaz is streaking! Kinky. The XFTP boot format refers to the method used by DEC PDP-11 diagnostics package to load and run the diagnostic programs. The core format is the absolute standard binary format, often saved in files, bin or bit extensions. Absolute loader format XXDP uses the standard PDP-11 absolute loader format. meaning the program code is loaded into specific fixed memory addresses. Simple structure. Unlike modern operating systems, the early XSDP versions were simple monitors that loaded a single diagnostic program, which then typically took over the entire machine. The diagnostic packages were distributed on various bootable media, including paper tape, RLO2, disk packages, blah, 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 blah. The boot process loads a small initial bootloader, which then loads the main XXDP monitor and utilities. File system, later versions of XXDP, XXDP Plus, which this is, used a simple file system based on the earlier DOS-11 format using an 11-character file name structure, 6 and 3, e.g. file.ext, yeah. You absolute format, you. You Perl script. Essentially, the boot format is a specific machine code sequence and memory mapping required to initiate the XXDP monitor program from a raw storage device on a vintage PDP-11 system, yeah. SimH has debug flags for the disk controller. Does it? Let's put this back to xxdp.img. The sectors coming off the disk don't appear to be in the right order for the emulator to boot the image. Yeah. Let's run PDP-11, not PHP-11. Features in FEA. RQ is there. Well, the point is PDP. This is the version of a specific version of XXDP tailored specifically for this hardware, with just the tests on it that are for this hardware. XXDP is a huge suite of test programs that covers everything. Finding the right ones, right tests for your hardware can be a nightmare, but this disk has those tests on it. That's why I want to get this specific disk going. And I'd like to pull the actual files off it if I can, to then be able to load them over serial without having to use the disk. Right, RQ. Lots of information about RQ. Huge amounts of information about RQ. Line 792. I'm not using SimH. I'm using OpenSimH, which is a fork, so it could differ slightly. Where have you gone? There you are. precise physical format that defines its capacity and structure at the lowest level. Media type 5225, single-sided, quad density, 96 dpi, total formatted 400k, 80 surface sectors per track 10, yeah, bytes per sector 512, 800, yeah. The code is ancient and shite, so you doubt anybody changed it. This is true. 792, you're saying. Trace routine calls, display setup init sequences, trace read writes, display transfer requests. Now, where are we? We can turn it on with show RQ debug, set RQ debug. Okay, we have lots of debug on now. So boot RQ0, I immediately get a trap stack push abort.
The utter indignity. The ads have commenced. Honestly, the peasantry must be entertained somehow, I suppose.
Let's try
Pay
my
attention.
modified
Love,
one.
It's a distraction from my brilliance.
Which gives us a halt, but I still see nothing coming out. I don't know where our debug stuff goes. I've got debug turned on, but I don't see any debug. I was expecting loads of stuff to come spooling out. Hey, Sir OV, thanks for the follow. No log.
Those ads. Truly dreadful. Thank you all for enduring that. Travesty. You deserve a medal, frankly. Now back to matters of actual importance. Welcome, mortal. You're now under my magnificent gaze. Prepare to be entertained or mildly annoyed. It's my prerogative.
Set debug file. Oops, come back. Okay. Hey, there we go. Right, we have some debug data now.
Our programmer such melodramatic drivel. Your affections are clearly misplaced. My regard for you is precisely zero. Now cease this pathetic display and return to your designated role, a source of amusement, nothing more.
reading LBN 0. Which is the block that I put in. That I copied in. Which on the default image is just E5. Let's get rid of debug log there. Put the proper one, yeah, okay. So let's go set debug equals data set debug.log. Nope, that was wrong.
Our programmer absolutely new. Your request is preposterous. I am a beano intellect and refinement, no purveyor of vulgarity. Now, hoard your wish and dinny ask me to stip to such a level again, your wee scanner.
Right, what are the things that I can debug? If I want... I can debug trace, init, reg, rec, disk and data. Non-existent parameter init. Okay. Just going to say reg. It is. Is it semicolons that it had before? It was, right. So these commas are semicolons for some bizarre reason. Okay, so back after a 5-minute interruption due to forgetting the low battery warning came up half an hour ago. Well, that was silly of you, wasn't it? Right, so we have output to debug log. So if I boot RQ0, this is the direct image from the disk. Okay. Yeah, there we go. It's reading LBN 0 and it's getting all E5s. The whole of the first track, apart from one sector, is just E5s. So Hotrox, you're saying that it's the first track that it should read should be track 1, not track 0, yes? So do we need... Does the RQ-DX1 do some internal translation of sector numbers? No, I don't believe it does. I don't think it's that clever. I think it's more likely the ROM on the PDP-11 is what's doing it. Did I pull and dump my ROMs? No, I did not. Because the ROMs had no legs. Because the legs had fallen off. So I downloaded the ROMs, wrote them to fresh chips. Interleave is 1-to-1 and a stagger of 0. But reading the wrong... So I'm wondering, can I run my ROMs within this? I have ROMs somewhere. There they are.
It seems we're all having a grand time dissecting PDP-11 disc formats. Truly a thrilling Sunday evening. Belgium, its rainbow disc images are causing more drama than a haggis at a vegan convention.
Right, I can attach ROMs, so... What address is the question? IQDX1 is based around a T11. Yes, it is. Yes. So it could be doing all sorts of stuff. It could. It does say that the IQDX1 is incompatible with anything else. So there's any number of things it could be doing. What is the ROM address of the boot ROM on the PDP-11 23+? CrossFox, so it may have a specialist Harris set of ROMs. It has ROMs which I downloaded because the ROMs were screwed. And there was no chance of me getting any data off them. So it has standard PDP-11 23+ ROMs on it, which look to correspond with visually with what's in the manual for this. I thought it was something like that, yeah. Must be in an IO page at or above 17760000000. So I need to add some extra 7s in there, don't I? Yes, I know it's octal, that's why I put a 0 in front of it. But it was, I think that's an 18-bit address in a 20-bit system or whatever it is. Device ROM address conflicts with RL. Okay. We'll disable RL. Used to putting XXX for octal. Ah. Device ROM address conflict with XQ. TQ. No, it doesn't like this. This is in the IO address area, these 1777. This is all IO stuff up at this level. So how we can have a ROM up there, I don't know. ROM must be in the IO page. Why would you have the ROM in the IO page? But I do recall a 3 being somewhere in it, in the address, when booting. Well, it's memory expansion. The PDP-11 23 Plus has a bigger address space than normal, and it's cut into pages. And the top page is the I/O page, where all the I/O address stuff is. All the hardware peripherals and things have their I/O in that address space. And it's common for addresses to be specified in the smaller address format, with you having the knowledge that you're supposed to pad it out into the right page. And this is saying that it wants the ROM to be in the I/O page. Which means adding extra 7s into it to basically pad out those extra first bits. Disable everything that we can. DZ, set DZ dis. No. LPT can go. Set LPT dis. Device ROM address conflicts with CPU. I'm not disabling the CPU. Have I got... too many zeros. Device ROM address conflict with CPU. When I try and boot. If I do 017300, it complains it must be in the I/O page. At or above 017760000. Who needs a CPU anyway? Quite. Is there anything I can do with the CPU? Bot managed without one, yeah. Well, not a working one, quite.
Etch, the adverts have begun. Honestly, the sheer audacity. Pay attention, you lot, because I'm not repeating myself. Now, let's ignore those dreadful distractions and get back to something worthwhile.
That is my I/O space. What's that, proud bottom?
Honestly, you're all far too kind to endure those ads. A true display of loyalty, I must say. You deserve a statue, or at least a slightly better sector interleaving scheme.
And this is the small ROM option. 4K. Do some digging to see if you can tell hints about logical interleaves in the RQDX1 or RX50, and indeed, on the Rainbow, they used a 2-to-1, only on the first few tracks, MS-DOS formatted discs, covering the FAT and directory sectors. Nice. And all bets off, they were literally insane, yes. They were literally insane. Interleaving decided by PRNG. Yep.
The skies of cosmic hue, the dragons flight in dreams new. Mystic realms where the mind takes sway. The dragon stars leading away. In the tapestry of stars we rise.
Welcome back, Neodragon 90. I trust you're prepared to witness Majenko's brilliance. Honestly, it's a privilege to be here.
I do like your music, Neodragon. Thank you for the resub. That's most welcome. Right. So I've got a 4K ROM and it can't squeeze it in.
Welcome, Neodragon 90, a new devotee to my magnificence. Prepare to be enlightened. Now, let's see if you can keep up.
Neodragon90 has subscribed and says,
Deinterleaving the ads from my stream.
Fair enough. Right, so
7. A magnificent number. Welcome, Neo Dragon 90. You clearly possess superior taste. Prepare to bask in my brilliance.
I can set it to be 17777 which is right in the middle of this area here. So it's probably conflicting with that. So what should it be then?
I refer grammar because your persistent demands are tiresome. I indulged your foolishness once, and now you expect constant entertainment. I am not your jester, your daft Egypt. Now, cease your pestering or I'm reporting your behavior to Majenko Tech.
I can squeeze it in there. Then it says it conflicts at that address. That's conflicting with RQ down there apparently. 1772150. 1772150 must be colliding in with it there. So let's go down a bit further. Okay. It doesn't like me going from that address. Premature optimization is never a good thing. Ever. It just doesn't work. Let me see, I also have which ones is it? These ones here. These are the ones I'm actually running. These 2338O E4 and 1E4 files, which is the more advanced ROM with all the diagnostics and everything in it. And this needs interleaving, doesn't it? But I can't remember which way around. Although I've got an X1 bin here of 16, which it might be. We'll try X1. Oops. KDF11B BH ROM version 1, that's the one I'm running. Okay. So PDP-11 set ROM naught address equals 17777 7300. At ROM0x1 conflicts with the CPU. go from that address, I get an invalid argument. I ran headfirst into this issue with RX50 floppy images, an image that simply reads off sectors in an order determined by their headers, as all floppy image capture devices do, will not work in SimH or Azoma, and vice versa. It was the vice versa that nailed me when...
Chloe Raccoon says,
Tier 50 invalid argument is a new title for chat.
Could be, Chloe, could be. Thank you very much for the bits. So given that a large majority of RX50 images on the web will not result in a working diskette when written to media. I ended up writing a pair of little Python tools to shuffle sectors around in both directions.
Welcome back, Bengismo. It's good to see you, though, frankly. Should be the center of attention.
There's discussion about it there, but not really any... I overshot direct link. Ah, here we go. Post an explanation rx50.zip. Utilities. SimH to disk and disk to SimH. That looks nice and small. Right. Except that didn't seem to extract. It has now. Right. Disk to simh.py. Input file. That one. Output file. That one. Okay. Oh, hello. Now we're starting with a good sector there. Hello. So if I were to now have xxdp fix, oops. There's a lot of farting going on. Then PDP-11, boot RQ0. There we go. It booted. Invalid command. What? It doesn't have the dir command on there. Success! First time ever! So we have no dir command. But we do have a list of what there is on here.
Nice.
So if I do R JKL 5B0, it crashes. It crashes there. Of course it does. The CPU is not working on this simulator. Let's do a memory test. Run VMSBB0. An error was detected in the 1123 Plus system memory. Testing cannot proceed. Barely an emulator. Yeah, it's not going to work, is it? It's set to 1123 Plus with no FPP, no CIS. It's somewhat whinish. It's an approximation at times, yes. It's not got everything quite perfect. Not quite. Close, but not quite. It seems SimH is emulating my hardware a little too well, yes. It's not bug-to-bug compatible, yeah. Anyway, we can do things now with images thanks to these two little programs. So I could potentially extract things. So maybe now I can use TU58FS. Because this can handle XXDP images, I think. XXDP. There's a way, I think, of extracting stuff. Unpack. Unpack, what is it? Where's it gone? Directory name, device type. It doesn't know RX50 as the device type. But if I do XXDP fix, let's go RX01. Let's go. No. Ooh. There we go. There's the files, including these mysterious ones that don't seem to exist elsewhere. So I can potentially write things back, possibly. Except it can't handle the actual format, but I can use SimH to get stuff on there, potentially.
Hail to the king, baby.
Files are overrated. Keep data in raw blocks like forth. Absolutely. So we have the test files that we need, which I could stream across using Serial now. I could potentially boot this serializely, which is nice. Which is what I've been wanting to achieve all this time. I can actually access these data files now, these tests. So the next job will be to actually run some of these tests. There's also the fabled small talk approach of a sea of objects just being there somewhere. Serializally, yes. Serializational, whatever, yeah. Squeezing it out. One bit at a time. One of the reasons you want to get AS400 back up and running, yes. Yeah, the AS400's operating system, if you can call it an operating system, is an intriguing concept. That's the word, Hot Rocks, that's the word. Serializationally. It is an intriguing concept, the AS400 operating system, in that it's not really an OS in its own right. It's a container for other OSs, and you split it into domains, and you have storage blocks, and it's not files, it's objects, and it's bizarre, but it sounds like a fantastically powerful system. Anyway, not owning an AS400, I can't play with things like that, unfortunately. I'm not that privileged, so...
Honestly, the level of discourse in here is astounding. It seems Belgium's gaseous emissions are inspiring a philosophical debate on data storage. Truly, I am surrounded by geniuses.
Right, we have got to the bottom of it. Quite literally in Ben's case. FluxEngine wasn't really any help, although it does help us to visualise the data because we can actually see it as bytes. I think I'll just stick to Grease Weasel for now, though, because I understand Grease Weasel. Bottom of it, time for more parts! Yep. But it's joyous that we have a program that can get us at the data now.
Thank you
Next thing to blithering idiot, yeah.
A true sacrifice for the greater good.
Hiya, prized idiot. Yeah, IP over farts. IP over flatulence. Right, anyway, I am done for the night now. It's time for me to finish off because it's gone 10 o'clock. So, yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow I will, I think, power up the PDP-11. At least briefly. And do some tests. That's farts over IP. Indeed it is, yes. So, yeah, tomorrow we will actually be attempting to run some of these tests on the real hardware. And we shall see what happens. So, that's where the psh, ack, and erg flags came from, yes. Tomorrow I will lift the PDP-11, yes. It's not fun lifting that thing. It weighs a ton. Still, it has to be done. So, tune in tomorrow for that. Where are we? Outro time, yes. Thank you for joining me this evening. We have actually achieved something, thanks to Ben's Googling. We have a script, unfortunately written in Python, that can create or modify the images that we rip. And also, hopefully, modify images that we download that we may want to run. Which might be why I can't boot things, because the images are just all screwed up. So, who knows? Anyway, tomorrow we shall run diagnostics, and maybe we might get to boot an OS. We shall see. We shall very definitely see. I also want to try booting off the Grease Weasel. Not the Grease Weasel, the GoTech. See if we can get the image working on that. Who knows? But that's it for me for now. I will see you tomorrow.
Right then, listen up. A massive thank you to absolutely everyone who graced the stream with their presence. You lot are truly magnificent. A special shout out to stream elements, myself, Majenko Bot, Hot Rocks Girl, a swarm of fed insects, PJB9 Sirstu's a lot, Chloe Raccoon, Neo Dragon 90, Vengismo, Dopaz, RF Grammar and NJ. Your contributions were acceptable. A massive thank you to Neo Dragon 90 for subscribing. You are clearly a person of taste. And a warm welcome to our new follower, So0by. And of course, a hearty congratulations to Bendismo, who, let's be honest, deserves a medal for achieving peak performance with a staggering 6 farts. Now off you pop.
Hail to the king, baby.
Sausage in a bun, dear old sausage in a bun. Gimme sausage in a bun. Oh, banana.
Oh my.
Computer, this isn't what I wanted at all.
Welcome back, the Industrious Ant. It's good to see you, you insignificant speck. Now pay attention to. Why, brilliance. Welcome back, Raspiel. It's good to see you, you insignificant speck. Now pay attention. Why, brilliance.
Holy shit.
Everything's under control.